Hello, everybody. It's so nice to be here with you. I am very, very happy to speak with my wild sisters and my Zimbabwean wild sisters. Thank you so much, Precious, for inviting me to be part of this. I hope your Hold Wild training is going really well, and I'm sure it is. And I'm excited to share some more information with you today. First, Precious, I wish I was there in person to be sharing this information with you all. And thank you again for sharing this opportunity with your sisters. As you know, this information is very important to talk about more opportunities to come study in the United States. I hope you're doing well. And again, I wish I was there in person, but thank you again for inviting me. So what I'm going to do today is share a presentation with you that I spoke with Precious and the other wild women that were here this past summer. I want to share this information with you to start planting the seeds of all the opportunities that are available and possible for people with all types of disabilities. I'm going to share my screen right now, so just give me one moment. So I want to go over this presentation with you all, and I hope that it gives you some opportunities and some information to know all of these possibilities. So my name is Monica Malhotra, and I am the Program Manager for the National Clearinghouse on Disability and Exchange. Pictured on this slide is a woman from Cameroon who is a power wheelchair user who came to study in the US on a 6-week fellowship program, and the program paid for her sister to come with her as her personal assistant. So let me give a little brief introduction of what the clearinghouse is. For the duration of the presentation, I will just use the term clearinghouse. Pictured on this slide is Susan Siegel, our CEO, and many staff of our clearinghouse team that Precious met during her program. And so the clearinghouse is a project focused on making sure people with disabilities, Americans with disabilities, and international students and participants with disabilities know about all the opportunities to participate in international exchange. So when I say international exchange, that means studying in a different country, volunteering, doing internships, doing research in different countries. The clearinghouse is sponsored by the U.S. Department of State and has been managed by Mobility International USA for the last 25 years. So I want you to maybe pause for a moment, pause the slide in my presentation, and amongst all of you sisters here today, discuss some of your goals and your interests to come to the United States. What are those goals that you have in your mind when you think about maybe coming to the United States? What type of programs do you want to join? So take time right now. Maybe there's some programs you've heard of from your brothers, your sisters, your friends, your family. You've seen images of, you've heard about through different news articles. So just pause for a moment and take time to discuss what you would like to do if you came to the United States. Okay, I hope you paused, and so I'm not going too fast, but I'm going to share some opportunities that are available to you, and that when we talk about international exchange, what we're speaking about. So some of these opportunities include improving your English, studying for a degree program in the United States. This could be a community college or a 4-year university. These could be internships. You could intern with a U.S. disability organization. You can also invite disability professionals to your country. And then you can also talk about youth opportunities. Tell youth and other people with disabilities about studying in the United States. So all of these fall under the umbrella of international exchange programs. And I want to share proof that wild women do participate. Pictured here are 3 wild women that came to Oregon and that are smiling and with their arms around each other. So let me share some examples with you. English studies, for instance. We had wild woman, Jenny Chinchilla from El Salvador, and Tuta Halilja from Albania. They came to the United States to study English. They studied English at the University of Oregon here in Eugene for 10 weeks, and they received a scholarship from the American English Institute. There are not many English scholarships, but there are some that exist. So I do encourage you to look at these programs. Look at English programs in your country, and then also look here in the United States. And degree studies. So many of you probably have dreams and goals to come to the United States and study for your degree. Maybe it's your master's degree. Pictured here is Loan, who's from Vietnam. She was our wild sister from 2006. She has a physical disability and came to the United States for her studies. The program that she was part of, the fellowship, is no longer available, but there are new ones always starting almost every year. So it's important to look at what those opportunities and scholarships are. And I can give you some examples of how to find out soon. Loan took advantage of being here in the United States and also took advantage of going and interning at a disability organization during her summer break. So this is also an opportunity for you. If you have a 4-year, 2-year, 5-year degree program, then you can also take advantage to gain professional skills by finding internships, volunteer opportunities at disability organizations or any organizations that might interest you. Internships. So pictured here is Angela, who's blind. She's from Peru. She came on wild in 2008. She's standing here next to a horse. She had a fully funded internship to work at the Center for the Blind in Nebraska. She gained independent living skills, and she was only here for 3 weeks versus 3 months. She worked with a disability organization, mainly focused on disability-related accommodations. And here pictured is during our wild program, the women go to a camp and have an incredible time speaking with disability organizations and international development organizations. During the women's program, we have many ASL interpreters and international sign certified deaf interpreters who come on the program and build a strong relationship. Pictured here are many of our wild sisters with some of our deaf delegates and some of the delegates who are not deaf with their ASL and certified deaf interpreters. One of those interpreters, Patrick Galasso, was an ASL interpreter for Wild, and he was invited to go to the US by the US Embassy in Bahrain as an English language specialist and taught English and ASL to a deaf community in Bahrain. So these are also opportunities to bring US professionals back to your home country for professional skills and sharing their knowledge here with your country and your disability organizations. Youth programs. Pictured here was a few years ago during Wild. We also had our youth students that were here at the same time. So pictured here is our Wild Sisters with our youth program who have multiple disabilities, and students were here from countries such as YES, the Youth Exchange and Study Program, which are students from countries with significant Muslim populations. And then they're also from the program FLEX, students from Europe and Eurasia. Both of these programs are sponsored by the US Department of State. And these are full scholarship programs to study 1 year in the United States. We want you to share these opportunities with youth in your country. Students should know about these opportunities from a very young age and not wait to think that they've missed these opportunities, but we want to instill these skills and mindset of empowerment and independence and opportunities at a very young age. So make sure to talk with students about these programs and other youth programs in your country. So am I eligible? I think this is probably a very common question to think about whenever you look at all of these opportunities to say, well, how do I get in? What's the age requirement? Do I need an English level? Some of them have academic, look at your academic record. Some of them, like I mentioned for the youth program, have certain geographical requirements. You have to be from a certain region or country. But it's important to also build your community engagement and activities. What you're doing now with the WILD training is really important to document and take note of all the skills and experience that you're gaining personally and professionally. Through our clearinghouse, it's our message to all of you is disability is not a barrier. If you feel there is, then you can always contact us at the clearinghouse to educate organizations for those scholarships that you feel like you are facing discrimination because of your disability. So I wanted to go over a few specific programs with you and share this with you and go over their eligibility requirements. One, for instance, is the Community Solutions Program. This is a professional leadership development program. It's for 4 months with a U.S. nonprofit or a local government agency. So this is also, you can volunteer or work for a U.S. disability organization. Eligibility requirements is living in a country where the program is offered. So you have to go to the website for the Community Solutions and make sure Zimbabwe is on this list. Age requirement is 25 to 38. You have to currently be working on a community engagement initiative in your home country, have at least 2 years of professional experience, and be proficient in spoken and written English. That's not bad, right? So how to find your program. Disability policy, women's programs, there's so many that you are all eligible for. Looking into disability-specific programs, women's programs, find a program that will let you continue to focus on that while you're in the United States. Most programs accept people from a broad range of field of studies. Don't just ask about those that are for people with disabilities. All programs are for you. It's important that you don't think that you have to look for scholarships for people with disabilities or universities for people with disabilities. Once you arrive to the United States, you are covered by the Americans with Disabilities Act, and so you can achieve and attend any program that you are focused and want to attend. You want to think about your goals. What are you wanting to learn? What professional skills are you wanting to gain? And none of these should have to do with thinking about your disability to enter those programs. Programs in the United States want applicants from diverse backgrounds. And when we talk about diversity, this also includes disability. In the United States, when they talk about diversity, it includes ethnic background, students and applicants that might be from the LGBTQ community, and different religious backgrounds, and students with disabilities. Where's the money? How do I fund it? This is important, right? Look at this list. There's a long list on this PowerPoint slide with so many types of funding opportunities and scholarships. The types of programs, ECA is the U.S. Department of State's Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs. So they have many, many programs such as Fulbright that you are eligible for, and these are fully funded programs. The U.S. Embassy has many scholarships. There's many private companies that have sponsored programs. Service organizations like the Rotary or Lions Club also has scholarships. Look at universities. If you're interested in graduate studies, if you've completed your bachelor's degree back home and now you're looking to attend a master's or PhD program, then many universities offer funding called research assistantships, teaching assistantships, and graduate research assistantships. So whenever you start applying and looking at universities, also ask the departments, the academic programs, if they have scholarships and funding available for you. Connect with disability organizations at home and in the United States to see if they have any funding. Of course, you'll have to make sure you have some personal funds for emergencies and not 100% rely on any scholarship programs. It's important for you to be able to have your own personal funds to also balance out any cost. Federal funds as well. This goes to government funds like the State Department that have many scholarships. And the exact scholarship names, for examples, are the Community College Initiative programs. So if you're interested, if you've completed high school and you're interested in studying at a 2-year program, vocational program, then you can come to a community college and they do have scholarships. Community Solutions program that I went over. There's the Foreign Fulbright US program for students, teachers, scholars. So in Foreign Fulbright, the Fulbright program provides full scholarships. So these are really ideal for your long-term programs that you want to look up to. And the State Department really is looking for a diverse pool of students, and we work really closely with them to reach more people with disabilities. The State Department wants they want more people with disabilities to apply for their programs. Global UGrad is, I believe, a one-term program at a community college or university undergraduate program, but it's short-term. It's maybe 1 semester to get the experience of U.S. community college and undergraduate programs. Humphrey program, the Mandela Washington Fellowship program. I'm sure many of you have probably heard of this program. We work very close with their office, and they as well really want more people with disabilities. They've focused on disability outreach so much, and they've really seen dramatic number increase in their applicants and fellows with disabilities. So if you haven't already, and if you have already, please continue to apply for this fellowship program, which is for 6 weeks. It's a pretty powerful program, and they do a lot and offer a lot of funding support to support people with disabilities in the programs. Nippon Foundation scholarships at Gallaudet for deaf students. There's the Obama Foundation for Africa Leaders, Obama Foundation Fellowship. So all 2 of these right here are focused on Africa, so also look into these programs. Open Society, Youth Southeast Asia Leaders, and many more. I'm going to ask Precious to share a list in an email that I sent with all of these scholarships listed to share with you, because I know this is a lot of information, and to share the PowerPoint with you. So don't worry, you'll have this list to be able to look into after I'm done speaking. So what do you do next? So go to your EducationUSA Advising Center. They can support you in any questions you have about application process to a U.S. university, and also let you know about any scholarships locally that might be starting up. Sometimes we here won't know about how quickly different scholarship opportunities come up, so it's important that you check with your local office and they'll know more what those opportunities are. Contact the U.S. Embassy in your country. They as well will know about any new scholarship opportunities and any disability initiatives that have come up. I would encourage you to apply and register for the Pro Fellow subscription. They will send you emails with the latest and newest fellowship and scholarship opportunities to come to the United States. I've registered just to learn, and I am surprised and amazed at how many programs are available. So do sign up for this. You can just go search for ProFellow and subscribe for free to get some email notifications almost every week of new fellowship opportunities. And the resource packet that I've shared with Precious, email me if you don't have it. It's 85 pages long. It's a Word document. Maybe you can share it on a WhatsApp group so you can have it easily accessible. And it lists all the steps, many scholarships, and of course it's growing and changing every day, but it just goes through step by step of what to do to apply to a university. There's something new coming out called the Global University Disability Inclusive Network, GUDIN. They're looking at locally how to create more accessible campuses in your country, and trying to learn from the US experience of providing accommodations for students with all types of disabilities. GUDIN is also trying to share what we've learned in the United States and try to share that information with countries all across the world. Again, let me explain the clearinghouse. So the National Clearinghouse on Disability and Exchange, on our website we have over 500 resources, from stories of people from Zimbabwe, people from Cameroon, people from the United States, people from Vietnam, from India, who've come and studied in the United States, who are deaf, who are blind, who have intellectual disabilities, who have mental health disabilities, who have chronic health disabilities, every disability, who have come and studied in the United States. And it goes over scholarship opportunities, different tips on how to make it happen, and information to know. I encourage you to follow us on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Sign up for our e-news so you can get information about new scholarship opportunities and read some different resources that we continue to produce. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, but we have a general email address, clearinghouse@miusa.org, that you can email at any time for any of your questions through your application process. Our clearinghouse, we don't have programs, we don't have scholarships, but we know that international students and American students with disabilities are not participating in these programs as much as they should be. And so we are a clearinghouse of information to encourage more people with disabilities to take your rightful place in these programs. This doesn't have to be a dream, this can be a reality. And I know that it seems like there can be a lot of work and a lot of steps to make it happen, but I've shared numerous stories with you, and we have numerous more stories on our website of people who have done it, so it is possible. So I encourage you to stay focused if you do want this to be your reality, to make it happen. Some of our examples of our resources on our website include testing accommodations. So students who are blind might have to take an English exam, but they might need accommodations. They might have to have a reader, for instance. And so we go through steps on how to get accommodations for your testing placement exams. Visa considerations for people with disabilities. For instance, if someone has to bring a personal assistant, so we have visa considerations and information on that. We have funding options, so a lot of the information I went over, we have additional information on our website about different scholarships. Looking at accessibility at US colleges, what does that look like? What are the resources on campus? And your rights and responsibilities as an international student with a disability. A few years ago, we launched a campaign called #AccessToUSA. Pictured here is a woman from India with short stature who's an amputee, and she graduated from Oregon State University. And the goal of the campaign was to increase the number of international students with disabilities coming to study in the US. We produced a podcast interviewing many international students with different disabilities and the scholarships that they received and the program information and their experience studying in the United States. We also produced a publication, a magazine, videos, and so you can find all of this information on our website. And also you can look up #AccessToUSA to find a lot of those resources as well. So it's important for you all to be an ambassador for inclusive international exchange. Start building relationships with your U.S. Embassy in your country. Develop new programs and funding opportunities. Maybe many people in your country didn't have access to education. Currently, a lot of the programs coming to the U.S. do have a lot of academic requirements for English or your academic background. But we also need to increase those opportunities for people who don't have that experience. And so start building that communication and message to the U.S. Embassy that creates sometimes some of these programs. Encourage your Education USA office to reach out to students with disabilities and reach out and partner with DPOs in your countries to talk about what I'm talking to you about today, about studying in the United States. Encourage alumni of these programs. There's many YALI fellows in Zimbabwe, and there's many Zimbabweans with disabilities who have come study. Encourage your local newspapers and media to spotlight these alumni with disabilities to change the perception in Zimbabwe of who's eligible for these programs and who these opportunities are for, and they are also for people with disabilities. Connect with your youth program to recruit students with disabilities at a young age. Be a resource to families to encourage their children with disabilities to study abroad. In many countries that have a more communal society, families can have a lot of fear to send their students all the way to America. This is very understanding, of course, but what this opportunity can provide to a youth or to any student with confidence, independent living skills, professional, personal gain is something that you can never replace. So do discuss what types of support networks with the campus and community are here for their children with host families and community support, and let them know what the Clearinghouse does so that if they have any questions, they can also contact our office. And again, share and promote the Clearinghouse. We're the only organization and project that focuses on disability and international exchange. So please share this information with more people with disabilities in Zimbabwe so they know about all these opportunities. I know I'm not there to answer any questions, but again, I encourage you to email us at theclearinghouse@myusa.org. And Precious, if you don't have the 85-page document, please let me know and I can send it to you again. And if you can create a WhatsApp group and share that document so everybody can read it at their own time. If you have any questions, let us know. And I'm very, very grateful to have this opportunity with you, and I hope to be there in person with you one day. And I wish you all the best with your wild training. And I hope to see you all one day, and thank you for your time.